Hello students, this video is based on lesson number 7, Region and Regional Development for Standard 12th Science and Arts student for Geography subject. So let us see what is a region as well as what are the regional developments, and we will also go across the regional imbalance things also. So let us understand the definition of region first. Before that, I would like to discuss some of the things which is based on region. How can you differentiate and distinguish one region from another region? We travel across and we visit across various new destinations. What are the things we see over there? Each and every destination has its own different physical qualities, it has its own political aspects, and you can see that the natural features or the natural characteristic of each and every region is going to be different. So what comes in natural features like the climate of that place or the vegetation, the lifestyle of the people, the occupation that is found there, the language that is spoken in those places, the animals which are found in those places, means you can see a variation. Okay, the soil quality, you can see it's going to differ. So because of this, each and every natural characteristic throughout the earth is going to be different. Now, what is a region? A region is an area. A region is an area of land that has the common features. Means in that particular area, you can see the soil is same, the climate is same. Okay, so such type of common features is seen in that region. So regions can be large, they can be small, and they are the basic units of geography. Okay, with the help of region, then and then only you can understand and distinguish that this is one region, that is another region. So it is necessary to understand where we are. Okay, so a region can be defined by natural or artificial features. Language, government, or religion can define a region. So which type of language is spoken in this region, what type of government policies or which government is there, so all these things, what type of religion do they follow, so these types of things are going to make us understand, and it is defined as an region. So as can forest, wildlife, or climate. So you can differentiate it on the basis of other aspects also, as like climate, soil, forest also. So generally there is a boundary which demarcates one region from another region. So you can see in the figure there is region A and region B, and in between you can see there is a boundary. So a boundary is always used so that we can understand that in which region we are currently present. So region, a geographical area that distinguishes itself from other area, is called as region. So one region has some different qualities, the other region have some different qualities. So by that we can understand and we can distinguish one place from the another place. The area which has common characteristic and is homogeneous in nature constitutes a region. In geographical studies, a region is the basic unit. This helps us to differentiate one area from another area. So any type of area which has a common characteristic or homogeneous in nature means what? You can see what is homogeneous in nature means you can see in that area the people, they talk in a same language, or they follow the same lifestyle. The festivals which they do are same. So this is called as homogeneous in nature. And in geographical studies, a region is a basic unit. Why is the concept of region important? So earth is a very huge landscape having different attributes. We classify these various landscapes and attributes of the earth for ease of studying the same. Example, land and water, continent, country, state, climatic regions, physiography. So it's very necessary for us to determine the exact location, to determine the exact extent. So because of this, studying about the region is very much important in geography. Now, what are the attributes of region? So there are in total 4 attributes. First is location, second is spatial extent, third is boundary, and fourth is hierarchical arrangement. So location. A region must have geographical location. It can be expressed in latitudes and longitudes. So whenever we see a globe, you can see there are vertical and horizontal lines. So these are your longitudes and latitudes respectively. So based on that, we can understand and we can search the location. It belongs to which latitudinal angle and which longitudinal angle, whether it is above equator, below equator, east, west, north, south. So everything can be determined by the location. Next is spatial extent. So based on homogeneity, the extent of the region can be decided. So you can understand that how much area is covered by this region. What is the extent of this region? So based on the similarity, based on the homogeneity, you can understand the extent of your particular location. Next is boundary. A region must have a boundary. Beyond a boundary, there is another region. So always a region should have a boundary. Even the house where we stay or the society where we stay, it has a compound wall. Why? Means the area or the extent of that particular house or that particular society is only till there. So you can understand that yes, this much part is owned by this society or this much part is owned by this house owner. So after that boundary, that another place is someone else's places. So because of that, boundary is very much necessary. Next is hierarchical arrangement. A region can be arranged into various orders or suborders regions on the basis of common characteristic. For example, northern plains and its subregions. So it is not like that a region cannot have any subregion. So some regions they can have or they can be divided again into small regions. Okay, so a region can also have a subregions based on their common characteristics. Next, now we are going to come across types of region. So the attributes of region are different and types of regions are different. So the types of regions are two types. One is formal and second is functional. So let us see what is formal. So formal region. A formal region is an area inhabited by people who have one or more characteristic in common. So whenever you see the people in some area has one or more characteristic in common, then we say that they belong to a formal region. Now it is based on physical regions or political regions. Shared characteristic can be common language, economic activities such as particular crop production, or physical characteristics such as climate of an area. Some formal regions have distinct boundaries which make them easy to identify, such as countries or states. For example, Europe, Africa, United States and Canada, or Assam and West Bengal. Now, there are some regions where throughout that region, all the people, they speak in the same language or they follow the same economic activity. Now here the example of Europe, Africa, United States is given. So you know the climatic condition over there is very much favorable. All of them are speaking in English and basically these are the developed countries. So they are most prominently engaged in the tertiary or quaternary or quinary activities. Next is Assam and West Bengal, which belongs to India. Now in West Bengal, if you take an example, all the Bengali peoples, they follow the same type of language, the lifestyle, the food style, everything is same. So if this type of common characteristics when you see, then we call it as a formal region. So what is a formal region? Formal region is a specific area that is defined by economic, physical properties as well as culture or government. A formal region is also called as uniform region. So it is also called as uniform region as it shares one or more physical and cultural features. Such formal locations are called uniform since they are combined with uniform soil, uniform climate that results in uniform land use, settlement and mode of life within a region. So if in an area you have uniform means what? Same. if in an area you have same type of soil throughout that area, then definitely the crops which will be grown in that area will be same. Okay. Then the climate is uniform throughout the area, then definitely you can find the same weather, same temperature in that region. So this is how the formal regions can be seen. Now the next type is functional region. So the functional regions are not bound by any formal characteristic but by the function. So here you don't the functional regions, they don't follow the common characteristic like what is the climate, what is this, what is that. Okay, all these common characteristics are not determined, but the function is determined. What type of work is done, what type of function is done, that is the main goal of functional region. It may be heterogeneous in nature. So you can see that there are some heterogeneous qualities in it. Means what? You can see different characteristic in one region if we consider in functional region. An area organized to function socially and economically as a single unit, centered as a focal point that connects other areas by various systems such as transportation, communication, or economic activities. So in case of functional regions, one region is connected with other region with the help of transportation, with the help of trade, with the help of communication. So this type of connectivity can be seen in the functional region. So what is exactly a functional region? A region that is specifically divided or located for a function is called as functional region. So the main aim of functional region is what type of functions are carried away in that region. A function region is made up of specific location and area surrounding it. Areas containing a kind of service such as cable, television, or points on the map that are terminal for an activity such as travel or communication via telephone can also be named as functional region. So any type of place which is connected with other places, which are helping other places to develop with the use of different functions. So functions like cable, functions like communication, transportation, trade. So all these things can be seen or calculated under the functional region. Now let us see the difference between them. So the formal region is also known as homogeneous region, whereas the functional region is also known as nodal region. So characterized by its linkage and its flows. So one node is linked with various types of regions and the functions are carried away simply. In formal region, based on similarities in characteristics and homogeneous criteria. So in the formal, you can see they give more focus on the common characteristic. They give more focus on the similarities. Hence, it is called as uniform region and it is also called as homogeneous in nature. Whereas in functional, you can see regions are organized around a focal node point, around transportation network, communication network, or labor and trade flows. So this in the figure you can see the functional regions or the formal regions. So here you can see that the boundaries of the functional regions and the boundaries of the formal regions. Okay, so the red color dash, the dotted line represents the boundaries of the functional regions, whereas the double bar you can see that how are the formal regions are divided. So here are different communication medium like TV tower, Wi-Fi. So these are the communication medium and you can see the economic activities like milk collection center, pizza outlet. So here are some of the things which can give you an idea how you can differentiate between the formal region and functional region. So cities can be considered as the functional regions because they create a sphere of influence. So various cities, they are connected with the nearby villages and they provide services to them. So hence, cities are considered as the functional regions. Now, what is the regional development? Not all regions are the same in size and population and also in the resources. Some regions like the desert region might have fewer resources while forested regions have huge resources. So all the regions are not same. All the places are not same. So definitely the things which you observe in those places will also differ. So everything is not same everywhere. It is totally unevenly distributed. So indicators like literacy rate, enrollment ratio, dropout ratio, sex ratio or crime rate against women or children will give you a better picture. So there are a number of indicators which are based on various social, economic, political, cultural, environmental condition. So how you can classify the difference between one region with the other region? With the help of social activities, economic activities, political activities, as well as the cultural activities. Along with that, you can also relate the literacy rate. You can also relate the ratio, sex ratio, the women-children crime rate. So all these things can be notified as an indicator in the case of regional development. So the changes in the development of a region. So here are some of the changes. So in the past you can see the desert resource poor and the forest resource is rich. Okay. So in the past this was the situation that the desert, there was nothing. You cannot cultivate anything. The climate is not favorable. You cannot see any type of settlement in this place. In the next case is the forest, which is the rich source in the past ancient years. But in the current situation, if you compare again the same thing, then you can see the desert has become a rich resource. Okay. Whereas the forest resource has become a poor resource. Why? Because nowadays the forest is degrading. The human activities are totally doing the things which are against the forest. Okay, they remove the forest area and they try to develop something else over there. So because of that, right now in the current scenario, the forest resource is completely poor and the desert resources, so where the desert place was there, so it is developed into some new thing. So because of that, it has become a rich place. So population and development, population and regional development. So the development of a region is a function of its resources and its population. So there are some underdeveloped region where you can see there is drinking water and washing. Then there is a developing region where you can see there is an hydel power and irrigation. Whereas in the developed region you can see hydel power, irrigation as well as tourism. So this is how the developed, developing and underdeveloped regions, they are engaged in different types of activities. So basically wherever the region is underdeveloped, then that region is the people, they are engaged in very basic work. And in the case of developing, they are engaged in some medium type of work. And in the case of developed region, you can see highly mechanized things with best science and technology features. For the holistic development of a region, skilled human resources and optimum utilization of natural resources is necessary. Regional development is the development of all the regions simultaneously, raising their per capita income and living standards by exploiting their natural and human resources fully. So if you see that if there is a country, we'll take an example of India. So we have large amount of population. Okay. If we have large amount of population, but that population is not skilled, they are not educated, the literacy rate is very low, then there is no use of such population. Okay, so you need the population along with the qualities in it. So your population, if your population is skilled, if your population is literate, then it is very good for the economical development of the country. If you have plenty of natural resources in your country, but your population is not skilled, they don't know how to do the mining, how to extract those resources, then it's of no use. And if we take a second scenario, that in some country the population is tremendous, but that country is not blessed by any type of natural resource, so even this is the difficult scenario. So the regional development is based on what? It is based on the optimum use of natural resource as well as human resource. So migration, basically you see migration is done from a less developed area to a more developed area. Okay, the people always want a better lifestyle, they always want a luxurious life, they don't like to stay in